Upon hearing the name Ivanka Trump, what associations come to mind? Which of her endeavors, her business, her presidency, or her beauty line is it? As the daughter of President Donald Trump, Ivanka Trump has long captivated the public's attention. For a while, she was in the political press after becoming famous as a businessman and fashion icon. Nothing about her life has been typical. But Ivanka Trump has returned to her regular life. Many are perplexed as to why she has been so distant from her father's political activities as of late. At 43 years old, she is finally letting us in on her real self, imperfections and all. If you want to know why Ivanka Trump is living the ordinary life, you should watch this movie. Is it a family argument that has prompted her to make this decision, or is something sinister at work? First Lady Ivanka Trump had a stellar reputation before she assumed the role. When she was younger, she was a part of a world where famous people had enormous egos. She had enough of being a celebrity daughter of President Donald Trump and decided to pursue a career in business instead. Initially, she found success in the realms of real estate, fashion, and jewelry sales. At her job with the Trump Organization, she was also a major player. She appeared in every posh publication at one point. She juggled the roles of a lawyer, business magnate, and famous fashion designer. No matter how you felt about her, she was impossible to ignore. During her father's presidential campaign, she also gained national fame. After a career as a corporate spokeswoman, Ivanka became a powerful political leader with unwavering principles. In 2015, Ivanka Trump made her political debut. She was smack dab in the center of Donald Trump's presidential campaign in 2016. I bet you noticed her smack dab in the center. At events, she did more than wave to the cameras and cheer on her dad. She also helped set a different tone for his campaign. Despite Donald Trump's fiery rhetoric and lofty promises, Ivanka maintained her composure. Policies that working families supported, such as affordable child care and paid maternity leave, were the topics she covered. Prior to her taking over, these weren't the primary aspects of her father's plan. Many were taken aback, but her trademark slick acting served her well in the role. The speech that Ivanka delivered at the 2016 Republican National Convention was quite remarkable. As an introduction, she shared moving anecdotes about her dad and spoke about his leadership qualities in a way that was easy for everyone to understand. Her concern for workplace equality for women, though, was the thing that really set her apart. People started to wonder if Ivanka was involved because it was an unusual move for the GOP stage at that time. It was a brilliant move, regardless of your feelings for her. Whether you thought it was bold, courageous, or simply bizarre, it certainly got people talking. However, the role she was given was challenging, and she gave it her all. Ivanka also underwent a significant transformation at this period. Entering politics meant that everyone would be watching and analyzing her every move, unlike when she was a businessman or reality TV star. While some applauded her for shedding light on pressing issues, others claimed she was trying to use her celebrity status to shield herself from criticism of her father's more contentious policies. When we were together, what were your thoughts on Ivanka? Was what she said in her pitches genuine, or did it seem like a publicity?
Oh,
Ivanka Trump's impact on the 2016 election was substantial, regardless of how people felt about her. For what reason, then, did she lend her support to Donald's national campaign? Now that he's the winner, why is she remaining silent? Even more so than she was, her younger brother Barron was actively involved with Trump's campaign. Has something gone wrong at the Trump residence? Few expected Ivanka Trump to do what she did in January 2017. Right now, she's her father Donald Trump's go-to advisor. A lot of people were confused by the move. We knew a businesswoman who was extremely polished. Would she be able to handle the rigors of politics? Ivanka was supposed to be the level-headed one in the notoriously combative White House. She was in charge of strengthening the workforce, empowering women, and crafting policies that benefited families. It seemed at first to be a logical progression from her policy-focused and approachable campaign persona. Politics is like plunging headfirst into a rapid river, no matter how alluring the thought may be. The number of scandals in which Ivanka became embroiled quickly became a daily fixture in the media. An intriguing observation is that our typical approach to interviewing men is to refrain from asking, "How much time do you spend with your kids and the rest of the time?"
Oh,
This intersection of her public job and private business interests produced significant complications. While she was busy advocating for policies, some claimed that the publicity surrounding her jewelry line, the Ivanka Trump collection, was helping it to thrive. Do you recall the skyrocketing sales that occurred after Kellyanne Conway publicly endorsed her brand?
oh,
Impressive job of capturing attention. Next, there were the contentious policies, or lack thereof, regarding immigration, global warming, and other related topics. Many felt that Ivanka lacked conviction and clarity. Although she entered the Paris Agreement covertly, her actions failed to sway those who disagreed with her. Some thought she was attempting to unite opposing factions, while others thought she was simply too weak to make a stand. The cracks in Ivanka's public persona were beginning to show, but she maintained her renowned composure through it all. There have been numerous scandals involving Ivanka Trump throughout the years. With each new development, she found it more difficult to evade the constant scrutiny of the media. Meeting her father and Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau at the White House in 2017 was met with some disapproval. Despite its initial focus on empowering women, the meeting descended into a cacophony of politics. Despite her father's government positions, many were unhappy that Ivanka, who had never attended political school, was portrayed as an advocate for women's issues. Many of her detractors have pointed out how blurry the boundaries were between her private persona and her public office. Then there were her dubious business dealings. Whenever Ivanka was in the spotlight, her brand sales skyrocketed. For example, when Fox News' Kellyanne Conway
oh,
supported Ivanka's clothing line, it prompted demands for an ethics investigation. It appeared as though the boundaries between her private life and her political work were becoming increasingly porous, attracting even more unwelcome attention to her. Ivanka's decision to withdraw is hardly shocking. She was impacted by politics, had to cope with moral dilemmas, and was perpetually in the limelight. Maintaining a private life amidst all the drama and scrutiny must have been challenging. In 2018, Ivanka Trump shocked many with her decision. Her clothing line was discontinued by her. The change occurred after nearly 2 years of difficulties. She ceased producing garments under her own label, which had grown into a fashionable name for working women, and was sold in numerous retail stores. Although it seemed like a courageous step, there were actually more facets to this story than what was initially apparent. These tears reveal not only the pressures of public life, but also Ivanka's aspirations. While her father, President Donald Trump, was in office, Ivanka Trump was serving as his top assistant. Her dual roles as a politician and businessman piqued the interest of some. They were worried that the two dimensions were merging too closely. Do you recall the meteoric rise in her clothing line sales following her speech at the 2016 Republican National Convention? That type of relationship did get people's attention, and it sparked numerous news pieces regarding potential biases. The demonstrations followed. Many people stopped purchasing family-related items while Trump was in office because politics were so heated. While it may have seemed like Nordstrom and other stores cut ties with her due to poor sales, the truth was likely more nuanced. Everyone knows that the boundary between politics and business has blurred, and Ivanka's brand became a symbol of this muddled intersection. In her statement, she explained that she shut down her business to devote more time to her duties in the Oval Office. She claimed that she was unable to keep up with the brand's maintenance while working full-time for the president. While some praised her for avoiding the ever-increasing scandals, others questioned whether it was all part of a strategy to preserve her reputation. Do you have any opinions? Were you truly committed to public service, or was it an attempt to evade mounting criticism? Regardless, it felt like Ivanka was stepping up from the office to a larger stage. It was a significant change for her. Though she had grown accustomed to public scrutiny, by June 2020, Ivanka Trump experienced a new kind of reaction. Nationwide, people were talking about the pandemic and demonstrations against racial inequality. There was a turning point in U.S. history. Still, it was clear from Ivanka's social media posts that she couldn't care less. Famously, Ivanka tweeted a finished photo of herself attending a commencement ceremony in a gown. It seems secure, doesn't it? This occurred, however, while millions of Americans struggled with high unemployment, unjust systems, and pessimism regarding the future. Few were the people who were happy. The tweet was widely disapproved of because many felt it was irrelevant. Both the content and the timing of her writing were crucial. Time is crucial according to many. Things only became worse when January 6, 2021, rolled around. On that terrible day in American history, Ivanka found herself smack dab in the center of the Capitol riots. During the event, she took to Twitter and called the protesters American patriots. She later deleted the tweet, but it had already caused damage. She took a lot of heat for her hasty and poor decisions, and how they affected things at this crucial juncture. After the rebellion, Ivanka fell into a state of relative calm. As Trump's administration came to a close, the politician with ties to the past gradually disappeared. Others thought it was a brilliant strategy to protect her reputation, while still others saw it as a means to escape the mayhem. Do you have any opinions? Was Ivanka's relative silence after January 6 a permanent retreat, or merely a pause before her next bold move? In this chapter, she revealed something that left many readers wondering, what's next? I wouldn't recommend stopping reading just yet, though, because the story takes an even more surprising turn later on. The public announcement by Ivanka Trump in November 2022 that she would not be joining her father in his 2024 presidential campaign caught many by surprise. The decision was not made lightly by someone who was politically close to Trump. She broke the news in a well-reasoned statement that reiterated her wish to spend time with her loved ones and stay out of the limelight, as is customary for Ivanka. She said that being at the center of politics was taking a back seat to caring for her children. There was a sense of significance in the air. After being at the epicenter of several explosive events in recent U.S. history for years, Ivanka was highlighting a change. Not only that, but she also appeared to set a boundary. Apparently, she was hoping for a return to normalcy, or at least some semblance of normalcy when one's surname is Trump. People took notice of this move. To be honest, did she genuinely want to shield her loved ones from harm? Or was she just avoiding the increasingly divisive Trump brand? The general public was left to speculate. Still, stepping down from a position of such public prominence in politics is unusual. Although many assumed she would be the front-runner for the campaign, she declined to participate. Barron Trump, the newest Trump family member, subsequently came to the forefront. Barron had spent the majority of his life hidden from view, but he surprised everyone by playing a larger role in this campaign, particularly in endorsing his father's policies. He is a mere 17 years old. It appeared like Barron was finally finding his stride when he advocated for causes centered around young people, or behind the scenes, tried to enhance campaign techniques. While previous changes within the Trump family had taken everyone by surprise, this one stood out. Barron gradually showed signs of being prepared to enter politics. Conversely, Ivanka opted for a life that was less hectic and more contemplative. One brother retreated to concentrate on her principles, while the other rose to defend their father's political legacy. The contrast between the two was fascinating. This decision begs the bigger question: after spending so much time in the center, is it possible to ever truly escape? Is Ivanka forging her own path, or is she content to sit on her hands and wait for something spectacular to happen? Do you agree with her that she should back off? Whether they like her or not, everyone is constantly wondering what Ivanka will do next. She may have done something completely unexpected. Ivanka Trump started letting us in on a more private and reflective side of her personality by June 2023, which was a welcome change. Over the years, she had graced the runways, starred on The Apprentice, and even served as a White House advisor. Subsequently, she began to distance herself and change her social media approach. The days of polished public relations were over. Instead, Ivanka started to open up more about her own ideas on being resilient, grateful, and forgiving. Every one of her posts was unique. They had nothing to do with launching a company or supporting a political candidate. Rather, they hinted at a change, an internal movement away from her hectic life in the spotlight. She appeared to be letting us in on a little secret about the real Ivanka, the one who lived beneath the carefully crafted facade we had come to know. Possible topics for one post include fortifying one's resolve in the face of adversity, the value of family, and the process of healing. Despite the relative silence, the signals were audible. Ivanka had facets beyond the political and business worlds. She appeared to be evolving and seeking something deeper. Interestingly, for someone who has been making headlines recently, this change was actually rather pleasant. The public is eager to know what happens next. On her 43rd birthday, Ivanka did not share the typical glamorous party photo or family portrait on social media. This time, a lot was riding on the outcome. Ivanka discussed her decision to remain out of politics in an emotional thread she wrote. It was a step toward a simpler, more authentic life, she said. It wasn't merely a choice. Being in the public eye had not been easy for Ivanka. From her time as a top assistant to her father during his presidency, to her current role as a businesswoman for the Trump Organization, she was constantly in the spotlight. However, it appeared that it wasn't merely her fame or wealth that brought her down. It was the relentless criticism, the unending pressure, and the harm it caused to her loved ones. She was forthright in her post about the negative effects of public life stress on her mental health and the relationships she valued. Things are about to get exciting now. According to Ivanka, she decided to leave so she could live her life according to her own terms. Verifying that her actions were consistent with her fundamental principles was the main focus. She wished she could be herself, but being in the spotlight for so long likely stifled that desire. Being surrounded by her loved ones, especially her children, was paramount to her. Enough is enough. I need to heal, she seemingly told herself, and who could blame her? No one could possibly handle the incessant scrutiny and the weight of duty to continue her family's political legacy without going insane. Paused for a while. To some extent, it was like starting over. By escaping the mayhem, she hoped to prioritize her family and herself.